This is a special episode of Theater School Rejects, the podcast. We just did our second edition of the show, Theater School Rejects, here at Flappers in Burbank. I got a guest host who's on my show, Richard Older, because Robert is currently hiding from life.
Sometimes we all need a break.
Richard performed. He's a stand-up comic. He's from Seattle.
Yeah.
Tell us about how awesome you are.
Well, it was. I was stoked to be on the show tonight. The Theater School Rejects gig has been a lot of fun the last two nights, or the last two times. I'm looking forward to Tustin next. I started. Well, I've been wanting to do comedy for about 10 years, and then through the journey in life, I met a woman who was like, "Wow, you watch a lot of comedy specials." She's like, "What's up with that?" I said, I just love comedy. I love everything about it. I believe it's one of the last real sort of staples of free speech in America, because comics get to talk about anything.
Well, yeah, like it was Hannibal Buress, right, who brought down Bill Cosby in a stand-up set.
Yeah.
Like, that was never talked about. Like, people maybe make an oddball reference to it, but it was never became part of a conversation. And
right.
He put it front and center because it was a joke.
He did, and once he did, it was fun to watch. I mean, it was interesting to watch how once Hannibal Buress addressed it, a lot of other comics started addressing it. It's almost like everybody was afraid to talk about Cosby until someone did it. Like, somebody had to be the pioneer and talk about how fucked up that Bill Cosby thing was.
But I think it was like almost off the cuff. Like he was like the guy goes, "Hey, you can Google this."
Right. I don't think it was in his set either.
In the show, and they're like, "We didn't know," because I Googled it. I was like, "Fuck!" There was so much there.
Yeah, I don't think it was part of his set. I think it was just something that came up, and you just because being a comic, that sometimes things just happen in the middle of a set, and you go, all right, and you just kind of follow it that way.
That happened to me tonight when I was, because you heard me do my set last time, and then I was like, I came with the part about an open mic. It's the show last night. The part about like beautiful because she had like plastic surgery.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, that led me to, I think that's like. That's so far shallow it becomes deep. I don't care how you got beautiful.
That's right. That was new, wasn't it?
That was off the top of my head. That was right there in the moment.
It was brilliant. It was really good.
I loved it. Yeah.
It made me laugh.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great, the joke itself I thought was good, but the stuff you added on top of it made it a much fuller joke. Made it a lot funnier.
Like, I don't care how you got beautiful. God, plastic surgeon,
Right.
So I don't care about how you got there.
It's transcending shallowness.
I'm coming back to deep.
Right? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, as long as it's hot, whatever.
I hate people who are like, I only like natural boobs. I'm like, fuck that.
Right?
Like, you might love a great natural boob, but how many natural boobs are great? Plastic surgery enhanced boobs, they're consistently awesome.
That's a solid point, because a lot of, not to bag on people, like, I'm getting older, you're getting older, things have like my clankers are hanging far worse than they ever have before. But it's the same way with women and their boobs. When they're natural, eventually they just get kind of flapjacky and kind of like some eggs just hanging there.
That's just natural progression.
It's natural progression.
But you can have perfect boobs forever if
right.
you got $10,000.
And that's fine too. All boobs are great. I'm a fan of most. But like, you shouldn't judge people because they have fake boobs or got plastic surgery. Some people look like they're no longer part of the species, and that is an issue. But otherwise, you know what? They just want to look good.
They're like the next generation. Like they're Homo sapiens superior. It's like the mutant power. That's how I think of double G's. Like that's like you've gone beyond natural. You're enhanced. Like you got,
So we're not going to have X-Men. We're going to have like enhanced peoples.
Yeah, like just be like. Actually, Peter David wrote a comic book of Young Justice in the first episode, and the villainess is called Headlights, and she had mind-controlling boobs. Because we talk about comic books here on Theater School Rejects.
That's awesome.
Young Justice Special Edition, I think the first one, Peter David. He's my guy. You can't see it, but I'm making a gesture eye to eye. I see
right. you. I'm with you.
Love you, Peter. Love you forever, man. I loved you when you were writing photon novels under a pseudonym.
Right, and you have come to a point where you can write characters that have mind-controlling boobs. I mean, that's really like I would like some people say that making it is hitting Fallon or Letterman or well when Letterman had a show, although he's coming back. He's coming to Netflix.
Yeah, he's on there.
Yeah, he's on Netflix. I think the first episode's like in a week or two. But like at the same time, well, some people said they knew they made it when they found themselves on The Simpsons. But like as a comic book guy, when you can write a character that has mind controlling boobs, is that real? I would feel like I'd made it at that point.
Well, I think at that point he'd already done the Incredible Hulk and made the Hulk gray skinned, wear a suit and tie as Mr. Fix-It. He was a leg breaker for the mob. If you can take the Hulk and make him a mafia leg breaker, and it was good. Like people say, that's the best run of Hulk. Like,
the scale is open when you've done that.
Yeah, you've done that. What the fuck? You gonna like blink and doing mind controlling boobs?
Right. You're like, show me something real impressive. Oh, the mind controlling boobs is pretty impressive.
I love you, David, man.
I should check out more of his work. It was weird. Like I grew up during a good time of comic books, but I just didn't quite get into them. I was a big sports guy. I've gotten geekier the older I get.
Well, like, yeah, because they say, like, you said, yeah, did you read any comic books as a kid, or?
I read the original Ninja Turtle, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, like the black and white. I read those.
Oh, I read them.
Yeah. I think it was Leonard and Eastman, I think.
Yeah, the first, like, 8 issues where they, like, play football against, like, these dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It's like issue 4.
It was a very strange comic.
Eastman and Laird, I think.
Yes, Eastman and Laird, that's it, yeah. Yeah, and I read those, then I continued when they started, and I started reading those primarily because of the cartoon. Like I had heard.
It's way different.
It's way different. But like it was awesome because it was so much darker.
Yeah,
like the cartoon is nice and as fun as I enjoyed watching as a kid. It was G-rated. The comic book was dark.
R to X, yeah.
Yeah, and it definitely played into where I was at the time. Like when I was a teenager and I was reading those, I was also watching a lot of slasher films and. In fact, that's actually when I started getting my love of comedy because my mom created a video account that was back when there was VHS. She didn't put any parental restrictions on any of it. So I was renting whatever I wanted. And that included like Halloween and Elm Street and like Friday the 13th, but also included a lot of George Carlin, early like 80s Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor. So like I was watching those guys at like 10, 12 years old, which is probably too young for that.
I had like, I started listening to comedy tapes when I was like 14 that we got from like the various road trips we'd go on as a family. So
that's
like,
cool.
So like I was listening to Rodney Dangerfield, like a full hour Rodney Dangerfield at like 15. And
that's
like,
awesome.
I love quoting this because there's a part where it's, I think I might have mentioned this last night, I don't remember. But I was like, Rodney Dangerfield goes, I want a girl just like the girl Dad had on the side. Like everybody knows that I don't get no respect, but if you can find one of Rodney Dangerfield's older tapes, like the deep cuts, because he was so good.
He was. And a lot of people just think of him as the actor that he was, and he was a great comedic actor. Like I liked all of his films a lot. Caddyshack's a classic. And I don't think Caddyshack is the movie that it is without Dangerfield in it.
No.
But he was a really good comedian. Like he was very entertaining.
Well, he's kind of like where I'm at, because like he started when he was 40. So when I turned 40, I was like, I am going to do comedy. Like I was putting it off for various reasons.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, my last deadline was, well, I got to start when Rodney Dangerfield started. And then I was like, turned 40, I was like, okay, fuck it. But mostly it was to get out of the house. Because I was not leaving the house. Like, there was nothing I wanted to do socially.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, I need a way to interact. That's all I wanted was to, like... But I can't just, like, talk to people. I need to focus.
Oh, sure.
And I also need to talk and have people not interrupt me. So stand-up comedy is, like, my destiny.
Well, and you know what? And comedy's a great place for that. Because, I mean, it's such a personal form of art. And I think that's awesome. it's because generally, you know, like some comics are out there doing bits and stuff, but a lot of us are talking about stuff from our lives, and it's a way of expressing ourselves, and it's a common element between us. Because, like you said, like you weren't really socializing much, and I don't either. I generally don't like people. Like I generally fucking hate people because they're.
I think that's why we get along.
Why we get along?
I had a dodgeball team. It was an LA Burt Reynolds mustache dodgeball tournament, and I created a team. And
Did you have the mustache too?
Yeah, I tried growing out. It was a disaster. But our team name was Misanthropes United.
Nice.
And on the back it said, "Shared hatred is our strongest bond."
That's amazing.
It's up on Zazzle. You can order the shirt.
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
I'll send you the
check
link.
that out. Send me the link. I'll check it out. Dang it! I think it's funny.
But I tend to get along with people who hate people. Like, it's weird to me to be friends with a guy like Nolan, who's like pretty upbeat, people positive.
Yeah, he's just a beacon of light.
Or maybe not. His material was pretty dark today.
It was pretty dark. That dude was very funny. You know what? I wasn't sure because like I saw him do the acting, and I thought he did. I mean, I thought his timing was good in the play, but I wasn't sure how he was going to be on, you know, doing stand up, and I thought he was very entertaining. I thought he was good.
Matthew blew me away.
Oh
Matthew,
yeah.
Oh man.
That dude was a juggernaut,
He
man.
should be fucking headlining.
He should be headlining.
He was like.
He was so funny.
Of the people who weren't me, he was my favorite set tonight.
Absolutely. Like I like James a lot. James was awesome, but I think I agree. Matt was, I think, the best performance tonight. Matt was on point.
That's really interesting. James like gets the whole crowd. Like he moves the crowd. He's so full of life. The crowd is like just rocking with him.
Yeah.
But the jokes and the performance, I liked Matthew's better.
Absolutely.
Like he didn't galvanize the room the way that James does.
Right.
Just
right.
Analyze it.
Well, like when I came out of when they started doing, because I always leave when the Reds start doing filling out the raffle tickets.
Yeah.
Because there's not really anything for me to do is sit there. So I usually go out, start talking to comics and stuff. And I was talking to James, and I told him that like I said, I'm not like I don't want to oversell how much I enjoyed your show. I said, but like it reminded me of like 80s, 90s Robin Williams stand-up. Because Robin Williams was just this force of nature that you couldn't take your eyes off him when he was on stage. And I felt that James had a lot of that too. Like you could not help yourself. You had to watch James because he was so captivating and he just held the audience. Like I agree, I think Matt's set was better. I thought it was funnier, but James killed it, and he had the whole room wrapped up and in like a nice warm blanket, despite the fact that some of the jokes were very, very dark.
Which is just like it's just interesting. Just the different styles and like the different effects. And like they're both great. It's just a question that they were great in different ways. It's interesting, like you know the why, but like you said about the charisma, like he's got the cult leader look, and I'm pretty sure if that comedy doesn't pan out, you know, we're gonna read about him in 10 years.
Right, he's gonna be some stronghold out in the forest with like 100 followers.
And if James Fries ever listens to this, I stand by what I said. I'm pretty sure 10 years, hey, Tug, I got a little over my head.
Let's be honest, man. I might be out there in 10 years with him.
You're going to be like his right-hand man.
Right.
Well, that was Theater School Rejects. You can find me at dougxcomedy.com, and you can find Richard at...
I'm at richardolder.com. You can also follow me on Twitter or Instagram at rkolder.
Well, thanks for listening.